In the business information update today, the JN Foundation Social Enterprise Boost Initiative, which is being implemented in conjunction with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, aims to serve as a transformative force that inspires community cooperation. And joining us to talk about it are Ms. Saffrey Brown, General Manager of JN Foundation, and Ms. Jennifer Sharrier, Project Manager of the initiative. Morning, ladies.
Good morning, Ralston.
How are you both today? Glad to have you. Pleasure. Now tell us, let's start with Ms. Brown. Tell our listeners what informed this development from the Jamaica National Foundation.
Well, as you know, JN Foundation tries to get involved in communities in a real sustainable way, and I'm sure you remember that we did a community resource center called The Source.
Yes,
we piloted it in August.
In Augustown and all of those places.
Right,
yes.
And we've done 5 across Jamaica.
Yes.
The Source itself is built on the model of a social enterprise, which is in effect a for-profit with not-for-profit aim business.
Yes.
Okay, so it aims to make money in order to pay for itself to be able to continue to provide its social or environmental programming.
Yes.
In doing the Source, we found that there were so many challenges because it was a sector that was completely unsupported. There were no legislative systems in place. There were no tax systems in place for the sector. Business and financial products did not exist. People actually felt that you were either for-profit and therefore a commercial entity, or you were not for-profit, in which case you were a charity.
Yes.
Now, so it was based on that when the Development Grant Program 3 did a call for applications, we decided to see whether we could partner with them to deliver a program that would open up the sector to the wider Jamaican, and really look at it as a solution to many of the social, environmental, and economic issues faced in Jamaica, recognizing obviously that the government can't do everything. So it's really out of that context that SEBI came, that because we had developed social enterprises and realized that it was very difficult, because there was no structure in place, no infrastructure,
yes,
we decided that it was time. And the more that we do programs like this, the more we recognize how many social entrepreneurs and social enterprises there are out there.
Okay.
But they're either operating as commercial entities or they're operating as charities.
Yes.
And they're kind of flip-flopping in between, and they really do need a proper structure in place for them.
Okay.
And can I just add, Saffrey, that we also realise that how heavy reliance on donations, grants and funding, which is just not sustainable. And
No.
if these organisations want to survive, they're going to have to become self-sufficient.
Certainly. Now, Ms. Sharrier, you're the director of the project. Tell our listeners...
I'm the project manager.
You're the project manager, yes. Now, tell our listeners, what's your role as the project manager?
Okay, well, the programme is looking at how can we facilitate and support growth
Yes.
of these organisations. What is it that these organisations need to be able to grow? Particularly effectively operating in the marketplace. And as you know, it's extremely challenging out here.
Yes, certainly.
And when we've spoken to a lot of these organisations, they'll say to you, we're very passionate about our cause, but we know nothing about business. Who's going to help us develop revenue-generating businesses? We don't know how to do this.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing a lot of hand-holding. We're going to be helping them looking at business development, looking at income-generating initiatives, how to become viable, sustainable. At the end of the day, generating income for a cause.
Ms. Sharrier, you're breaking up. Could you stay permanently at your location, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So what I was saying that is that we've got to look at ways in which we can help them become viable, sustainable. Because at the end of the day, they're making a huge contribution to a number of the social challenges that we face here in Jamaica.
Yes. And
so
you'll be...
we're looking at business training, development, seminars, workshops.
Okay.
A lot of hand-holding through business incubators. And also getting the general public, making the general public aware that these organisations are actually out there and they do need their support.
Certainly. Now, Ms. Brown, the role of the JN Foundation, what's the role of the foundation, what's the role of USAID in this project?
Well, JN Foundation is the organization that developed the project and is implementing the project.
Yes.
And USAID is coming in as the main financial contributor for the program.
Yes.
But obviously they also have a lot of technical expertise that they'll be supporting. So JN Foundation is really implementing the initiative. Of course, it's going to require a huge amount of collaboration with other agencies and organizations, government, so on and so forth. So we will be partnering It's very much a multi-sectoral approach, because at the end of the 3 years, the project is going on for 3 years, at the end of which we hope that the infrastructure will exist to continue with the sector.
Yes.
That is the main aim. But what you want is the government to be fully aware of this sector and to ensure that they put the right things in place to support the growth of this sector. So part of that could be, for example, around a legislative framework, tax framework. Part of it could be about how they issue contracts.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I'll give you an example. If a community is having a problem, let's say their garbage isn't being collected, it becomes an environmental hazard to their community, and somebody is being paid to collect this garbage and they're just not doing it, they're not living up to the service level agreement,
Yes.
then the community could set up a garbage collection business or recycling business,
Okay.
right? Then advocate with the government for a contract stating, okay, well, we will deliver these services, this is what the service level will...
For a fee.
Right?
Yes.
And then they might, say, okay, well, you get the contract for this community. They do it well, they hire local people, it's for the benefit of local people. They'll start off maybe with a grant, then they'll move to income generating, and then bam, they've provided the service so well, they can now offer it in other communities. So they continue to then grow and expand and become a real solution. So they're addressing employment, they're addressing environment, economic development, all these things are being addressed just from one contract.
Yes.
You understand? So it's about everybody recognizing the potential that exists in social enterprises, run properly, run transparently, but with the overall objective of creating social and environmental change. And the other thing is that how you evaluate social enterprises is key to this project. Because with a general, regular commercial enterprise, it's profit and loss. With a charity, it might be social output.
Yes.
But with a social enterprise, it's both. You're looking at social return on investment. You're looking at income and expenditure and all these sorts of things. So how you measure this to show the impact it's having on the society, on the country, so that people recognize the importance of them, whilst also showing the bottom line of how the business is doing. Hugely important to the project.
Okay. Now, Ms. Sharrier, in carrying out your function as the project manager, I suppose there'll be a great deal of collaboration with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund.
Yes, we're actually talking to all the agencies, and we're looking at ways in which we can collaborate with them. Because what we don't want to do is reinvent the wheel.
Yes, certainly.
We want to build on what's already there. So yes, we're talking to lots of organisations, doing lots of meetings. We've just started to collaborate with JBDC. We're working with UE, the Office of Social Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And they're actually helping us develop measurement tools to look at how impactful these organisations really are and what we need to do to improve their ability in some of these communities that they are serving. So there's a considerable amount of collaboration. And it's really an invitation to organisations to contact us because many of us share the same mission.
Okay. Now, what we're seeing in Jamaica is that the rural areas have been neglected. Will you be placing a strong emphasis on our rural communities?
Well, you know that the JN Foundation's main objective is to support rural regeneration.
Yes.
So we will be looking very specifically at rural Jamaica. I mean, we've supported a number of social enterprises from rural Jamaica before. I'll give an example. We funded the Walkerswood Foundation in St. Ann, who were doing greenhouses. They were looking for funding to develop greenhouses for some of their farmers who had disabilities, so that these farmers could, in essence, create enough income to support themselves. We funded a project like that. We did another great project in Akampong with the original Trails of the Maroons. It was an ecotourism project.
Okay.
Where they looked to create a real sort of community tourism product that had a lot to do with environment, culture, history, so on and so forth. Again, that's a great social enterprise because really what it's about creating employment in a sustainable way for a community in a way that allows that community to maintain itself and its history. And it's run by local people, employing local people for the benefit of local people. And I think if we can continue to kind of look at things that way, but again, it's a sustainable business and the whole movement of community tourism.
Yes.
That's all, in essence, that's social entrepreneurship and social enterprise development. So we want, not just in Jamaica, but we want globally when people are looking to come to Jamaica on holiday, that they recognize that there is a social development sort of program in place to support the kind of initiatives they want to get involved in, kind of things that they want to visit, you know?
Yes, great. How much money is the project expected to cost over a 3-year period?
Well, the cooperative agreement actually on cost sharing and in-kind contribution, and it's in the region of 70 million Jamaican dollars over the next 3 years. And it's important to add here that a lot of the collaborations that we get is actually in-kind contribution.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it does have a dollar value. So that dollar value is factored into the 70 million.
Okay. Now, after 3 years, what do you expect to achieve? How will you measure your achievement?
That's an interesting question.
Hello.
Obviously, we want the social enterprise initiative, SEBI, to be a freestanding social enterprise itself.
Yes, yes.
The idea is that it continues to be sort of the governing body for social enterprises in Jamaica.
Okay.
That it would be the place that you would go to if you want the social enterprise tag.
Okay.
So part of it is that, just like in the UK where you have a tag that says that you are you buy into fair trade, this product was developed
Yes.
using fair trade and that sort of thing. We would have the same thing here. There would be that network, that would be that membership. So the whole idea is that SEBI maintains itself as a sort of basis of resourcing and support and governance for the social enterprise sector. And that's really the idea, is that at the end of 3 years the project is implemented, the entire country is aware of social enterprises, the impact that it has on the communities and on national development, that the financial bodies and the business providers all come on with proper services and products for that sector, and that the framework is in place for the sector to continue to blossom and grow.
Okay. Ms. Sharrier, final word to you as a project manager.
I think that at the end of the day, SEBI too will become a social enterprise. So we're going to practice what we preach.
Okay.
And we're going to show people that we are not just relying on funding. We too are looking at income generating initiatives in order for us to become sustainable. And we want to work with organizations so that they're here for the long haul, because we plan to be here for the long haul.
Okay, great. Ladies, we're out of time, but I'd like to thank you for joining us on Real Business Today and take this opportunity to wish you all the best, because the social sector will have to play a key role in Jamaica today, given the austerity policies being pursued by the government of Jamaica.
Thank you for having us, Ralston.
Okay,
Always a pleasure.
pleasure, always a pleasure. That was Ms. Saffrey Brown, General Manager of the Jamaica National Foundation, and Ms. Jennifer Sharrier, Project Manager for the SEBI initiative, which aims to develop the social sector. The social sector in Jamaica has a key role to play, given the austerity policies being pursued by the government of Jamaica along the IMF's dictates.